Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 833. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
Just like never fails to admit, like every Warren's very suggestible, and I will start off. And if I was to leave, I'm Stephen in Edmonton.
I don't know if suggestible is the right word. How about like going with the improv?
You're yes-anding. Yeah.
Suggestible suggests I'm just a dum-dum.
That's true. Thank you for playing along. Thank you for playing along, Warren.
Whereas Chris is absolutely baffled by any change.
Like, what is this? What do you mean? Yeah. No, that's a ludicrous situation. What are you asking me to? No, I can't.
He's got a point, frankly. So,
hey, ludicrous was good in all the Fast and Furious movies.
That's a sentence I'll never want to hear again.
No. Never seen a single one. Listen, I am a fan.
Seen both
of car
first
crashes.
And seventh, they're garbage.
Garbage. Well, I saw. I love car crash. I love car rolling. I
Cannonball Run, man. Eh?
I've never seen. I need to see Cannonball Run, but
Death Race 2000.
Like I look at the car crash in a movie as like a sanctuary. Like this is a blessed event when you watch. Like I was like
But we all like Fury Road. Like we can get over that.
Yeah, I mean like an actual car. Like in the 1970s and 80s, like they actually rolled cars. But then I remember watching it behind the scenes of like how they did car crashes in like one of the Fast and Furious movies. Going this actually stretches credibility. There's a purity to a car crash in a movie, and you were just stepping all over that Fast and Furious.
Well, if they're using CG cars, it's a hell of a lot safer. So, there
was one of them where they were like going down the street, and they had like for some reason it was like magnetic, and they were pulling all these like washing machines out of the shops, and it was like, no, this is dumb. I'm not watching this movie. It's
the first
dumb.
one was just a bad car movie, but it was just a dumb movie. And then by whatever the one I saw, it's a couple back. Yeah. I was like, I don't know who any of these people are, and I don't care. Statham's amusing. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
The latest one, they go into space.
Oh, that's just dumb.
Hooray!
That's just dumb.
I watched the whole run.
And I'm not
Why would you do that to yourself?
Last year.
I'm not surprised.
Just because something to do.
Speaking of something to do, our classic series commentary for Remembrance of the Daleks starts this week, and for the next 3 weeks after that, one episode per week. Unless you're a Patreon supporter, you probably heard this back in, when did we do this? August. This came out on the regular feed. Now it came out for our patrons in August. We just recorded another one for Planet of Evil, which came out for patrons, and it might not show up for a while on the regular feed. So,
yeah.
So there you go. So wait for all of our dated references. My God. Oh, how optimistic we must have been back in late August.
Forget it. What a delightful time gamboling about without a care in the world.
Yeah. Omicron is just a letter in the Greek alphabet. Two things I want to before we get on with the news and banter. This is the banter, actually. I decided to, after I haven't done it for literally 3 years according to my saved game files. I decided, you know what? I have so many stupid toys from this game. I'm going to play it again, and that's Lego Dimensions. I brought out Lego Dimensions. Well, what kind of scared me off?
I've had the itch to redo the Doctor Who stuff lately.
Well, yeah, I had. So, I mean, this is a game that is no longer available, really, apart from the.
I was going to say, is it really tough to get this stuff? Is it dirt cheap because it's no longer available, or is it really expensive?
Expensive. The game itself.
I'm not going to try.
The game itself, I don't know. I bought one for Xbox 360 and then one again for Xbox One, mostly because the 360 one was buggy, and when I go to the Doctor Who world, it gets all crazy and crashy and stuff, and so it kind of
much like Doctor Who.
Yeah, a little bit. I am pleased to report that is not the case this time around. And as I'm playing, I'm going, that's right. They made a Lego Doctor Who game. I feel guilty about.
It's been 6 years too.
6 years. I feel guilty because this feels like it's made expressly for me. Lego and Doctor Who together. With references to the Five Doctors and Robot, and there's some really deep cuts, and I'm going,
and the greatest console room ever.
The Time Monster console room.
Well, today is January 16th, and I was loading it up last night, and I noticed that midnight ticked over. I think, it's a multiple of 4. You know what that means? You go into the 4th Doctor's console room, and it's the Deadly Assassin console room.
Awesome.
There's so many deep cuts in there, and like me ranting about fan service about the Boba Fett show last week.
Yeah.
And it
So
felt
you
like,
have no
I
room
felt
to
guilty.
talk
I know.
whatsoever.
Nobody has. But then you go in and like, here we are in Lego Ninjago world, and I'm going, I have no idea who any of these people are. None.
That's okay. I saw somebody make a Harry Potter joke about vaccines, and I'm like, what? Oh, I don't care. Never mind that.
Yeah. But anyway, we were playing this, and my birthday's coming up, and Erica was saying, well, I don't know what to get you for your birthday, but there was a Goonies one, like towards the end of Lego Dimensions.
Yep.
It was like discontinued, 2-3 years ago. And there's a Goonies one, and I got the Knight Rider one when it was like on like winners, like discount.
Come on.
I know, it makes no sense. But so we ordered 4 of them. We ordered 2 of them arriving today. The Goonies one, because Erica wanted to see the Goonies in Lego form. Mission Impossible, the first Mission Impossible film.
The original, like, 60s Mission Impossible?
No, like the first
Tom
Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, well, boo. I took the 60s one, though.
And then 2 more that are coming, I think. I can't remember which other one we did. Some of them were really stupidly expensive. Like the Gremlins one, I think was like $150.
Does it have the Brain Gremlin? Does it have the Brain Gremlin?
I don't know. I didn't get that one.
Well, if it doesn't, then forget it.
Did I get the Gremlins one? I can't remember. We got one. But there's a full playable one of the one true Ghostbusters movie, which is the 2016 one. So I bought that one as well. Well, Eric.
There's you with because I bought all that stuff because you get a different like kit thing to put onto the pad.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not playing with the whole apparatus. I'm just playing with the actual pad because it gets in the way. That's the thing. And so I've been playing that because I seek out alternate realities right now because of where we are in the world. And I thought, you know what, I spent way too much money on those stupid. Well, they're not dumb. They're Lego, but I have so many of them. Many of them. I didn't realize until I pulled them out of the box. Oh my god!
I have.
So I'm playing it again.
3, like sized Rubbermaid totes full of.
You went even worse than I did. You did even worse than I did. Oh, they got you.
I did nothing of the sort.
No.
I do have a tote full of Doctor Who dollies. So am I any better? Probably not.
No, that's true. We are all.
But I do make creative, in quotes, comics with them. So there is
once upon a time for Dimensions, I never actually followed through, thank goodness. But there were like some convention,
right?
Comic-Con or whatever, I can't remember. Some convention like exclusive freebies at the time of Green Arrow and Supergirl. And
I saw the Green Arrow one on eBay, I think.
Yeah.
I'm surprised those don't exist in
plentiful.
Regular Lego.
Yeah.
They were plentiful on eBay back in the day, but they were still commanding like $40-$50 a piece.
Right.
And so I'm like, that's way too much money for one thing.
Listen, this is throwing a big old brick in a glass house, but nerds.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Oh, that whole toys. What's it called? Toys to Life was the sort of the theme. That's sort
toyetic. No, not toyetic. Toyetic is like cartoons that are basically toys, or meant to sell toys.
I think it's
hell. You're right.
I think it's Toys to Life. Was the whole genre, and Lego got on board with that and played the game and
like Amiibos, and there's a couple other different ones.
Yeah.
Amiibos, I think you could still get. I might be wrong.
I don't know, but anyway, it sort of came and went, and Lego Dimensions was one of them. So I don't think you can get the base game very easily anymore. But nor can you get the Doctor Who packs. I bought 3 Dalek and Cyberman packs and 2 of the Doctor Who ones, and that was it.
I just remember.
Was there a K9?
Yeah, it was a K9. It was a K9. It was a K9 and Dalek and Cyberman.
My Lego Peter Capaldi Doctor came with 2 sonic screwdrivers.
Yeah,
so he can dual wield.
I've got lots of sonics,
game, but
no, I got like 3 or 4 sonic screwdrivers. So anyway, I've been doing that. What was the second thing I was mentioning? I can't remember what else I was doing. Oh, that's what it was. believe it or not, I've been watching Doctor Who. So I've been watching one episode a day. I started the Dominators last night. We're almost at the end of Troughton. This is ridiculous. In this daily Doctor Who quest that listener Joe challenged me to, and I noticed that me and Paul Booth has been posting his daily reviews on Twitter, which is good because it helps me thinking, okay, I'm on the right day. I'm on schedule here, and so I've been watching one episode a day. But then I was also sort of looking at images of later Matt Smith Doctor Who, and I'm thinking, I actually don't know what story that's from. And I was like, this podcast kind of is weird because we watch a Doctor Who episode, me 2 or 3 times, we review it, and then we put it to bed. And oftentimes we don't go back. We're not children anymore, and so we can't just sit around in our living rooms playing Lego and having Doctor Who on the background.
Says you.
Exactly. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to perform I'm going to do what I used to do when I was a kid. And while I was, I edit podcasts for a living. And while I'm doing that, I can't really watch something on the TV because I'm listening to things and I can't watch a new thing to be. So I've started putting Matt Smith episodes on TV in the background and just playing out. I have that be the background noise. And it's nice. I just sort of look over, oh yeah, Doctor Who's on. Because that's pretty much how I ingested Doctor Who when I was a kid.
That's what BritBox is for, my friend.
Well, they don't have the modern series on BritBox. It's on. It's on the.
Well, that's what Crave is for.
It's on the abomination of Crave with commercial blacks.
Oh no! Speaking, I'd just like to go to bat for Crave on this because I got rid of my Netflix yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I realized the only thing I watch on Netflix is old Star Trek, which is also on Crave and also on a hard drive in my place.
Yeah.
And Netflix just jacked the price again as well.
Yes, they just jacked the price. I'm like, am I really going to pay for something I can get in 2 other locations? And a bunch of gray slop I'd never watch. No, I'm not. No. Bye. So I got rid of it.
Well done.
Crave, on the other hand, has tons of HBO stuff, tons of stuff. Crave is a much better deal.
Yeah,
which is only in Canada.
Crave in Canada is sort of like our HBO Max, but it's not. This is. Tell you what. Let's talk about things now because I feel like the BBC element of this will sort of come into it. Nadine Dorries is from the Tory government in the UK is rattling sabers again because for some reason they need a distraction this week, it seems, and so she's once again threatened that after 2027 the BBC is going to have to pull its own weight and stuff like that. Armando Iannucci, who has become my comedic savior when I realized that he's basically been behind most of the TV series that comedies that I've enjoyed over the past 20 years from the BBC, from The Day to Day to The Thick of It to other things and stuff. But
don't forget Veep.
I did not like Veep as much, but it was good.
I tried. I couldn't do it.
It was not as good as The Thick of It.
It is watching an American version of The Thick of It, which doesn't work.
Yeah. He tweeted out just before we started recording about how he's long sort of beat the drum about having the BBC having a license fee at home, but then have basically a subscription model for overseas users. I think there are many people who would pay for that. Listen, if we're still paying $20 a month for Netflix, you damn right I'm going to pay $4 a month or something like that for the BBC. So that's the idea. But yeah, the idea is that the license fee will expire in 2027, and then the BBC will have to apply for funding. Like every other broadcaster, be it through the government.
It'll expire long before 2027? Nadine Dorries and the rest of this government.
Yeah, probably.
So good luck with that. Nice distraction from your current woes. Yeah. So, self-inflicted.
For what it's worth, right now, the cost of the license fee in Canada would be just about $23 a month. Well, that's the license fee of the BBC, but I'm sure that
I was going to say, would that be worth it for the CBC? But it would be if the CBC got all the money and made good stuff with it.
Yeah. And was commercial free.
Mm-hmm. And was commercial free. If they did what the BBC does with the money, then yes. But they do not. So
I pay $7 a month for BBC Select, even though I've never watched a single thing on it on my Apple TV. I paid for it. I think, what the hell? I'll pay for it because they have some good. It's just documentaries for the most part, just documentaries on BBC Select. But it's the international service that I remember them touting. So you know what? Even though I haven't watched anything, there are things I'd want to watch, but I'm also voting with my dollars, thinking here I am, I'll happily.
I do that with KSPS TV, which I can only watch when I visit my parents at Christmas because you can't get it here.
No.
But KSPS Spokane is what got me Doctor Who, so I have no problem tithing to them for the rest of my days.
Exactly. But what this kind of leads to a wider discussion about the BBC and Doctor Who in general. This is why I'm tying in this now. Chris, don't be alarmed. I'm jumping ahead in the news list, but I feel like we're there.
I'm alarmed.
Relatively here, in that the big thing that's happening is that BBC America is pulling out of doing the Doctor Who recon animations.
Reportedly.
I think it's happening. Our sources say that that BBC America is probably out, but they have been actively searching for alternate funding, shall we say. This has been going on for a lot longer than when we just heard about it. So it's been going on for a few months here, trying to sort of find.
So something like this just doesn't happen.
No, it just doesn't happen. So it's been going on a while, but they're they are actively searching. Like it's not the end of the lost animations for the lost episodes. They're just having to find alternate funding. What I think is more intriguing to me is this actually not just a pullout from Doctor Who animations from the BBC America, who I think maybe they've been sort of getting diminished returns with each one. Just because they were doing like cinema screenings when they first came out, and then they were airing them, and then the last one, Evil of the Daleks, never even aired first. It went on to the streaming service, which just might mean a shift in focus for them, just putting stuff on streaming before they go to broadcast. Does this mean, as perhaps I have been anticipating or hoping for, is this the end of BBC America's involvement with Doctor Who, now that Sony and Bad Wolf Studios
altogether? You mean
altogether? Is this a bigger
Wouldn't
thing?
surprise me.
Yeah, that's what I'm speculating on. I think because the odd thing is, like, September is when the was it September that the news? Well, obviously September was when Russell T Davies was announced, but that was also around the time when Sony was looking to buy into
it was
Bad
still
Wolf.
rumored at that point, I think.
Yeah, but I think it was sort of being finalized and stuff. So I feel like I know I'm speculating about Sony maybe putting in money for the animations and stuff as well,
or Bad Wolf,
Bad Wolf. But I'm guessing that perhaps there's alternate funding now, and now that Sony is involved, BBC America's stake in Doctor Who, which has been there for quite a while. It's been a co-production for pretty much since BBC America started airing it in 2009. Will this be the end of that? We shall see. But I feel like that's part of the bigger picture.
Well, obviously there are those who are hoping for Sony/Bad Wolf to pony up to make up the difference to keep things going, because
gotta be a drop in the bucket for them. So I mean,
at the end of the day, there's still a lot of stuff out there that hasn't yet been animated, and if it doesn't happen, then because that could I don't know how much it would affect the Blu-ray range for season 4 or something like that,
right?
But or 3, the two big ones right now.
Well, the counterpoint to that is how much they care about Blu-rays. I mean, obviously, probably RTD does, but because he's a nerd.
That's the thing.
But generally speaking, Blu-rays are not on the top of anyone's list for just media generally, is what I mean.
Oh, God, no. It's for a select group of people like us. But
yeah.
So Sony and or Bad Wolf, and then of course because BritBox did that one recon a couple of years ago for, was it Space Wheel in Space?
Yeah, just watched it. Yeah.
There are those who are thinking maybe BritBox will fill the gap and chip in the money for this stuff to continue.
Right.
And I don't know how likely either of those scenarios are, but at least I think at least there's some hope out there. Like this is not necessarily the end of the road.
No, I don't think we need to be worried. They're actively, I mean, the Radio Times even updated it saying, though BBC America has pulled out, BBC Studios is actively seeking another partner to work with future productions. So,
and there could be something from out of left field that comes in, and I'm not going to say saves the day, but
right,
fills in the gap.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the timing of when things sort of froze up and the happening around the same time as Sony getting into Bad Wolf and indeed Bad Wolf getting into Doctor Who feels like there's there are contracts that are being allowed to pretty much end and other ones being started. And
I think we've barely started to feel the impact of Bad Wolf stepping in. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot more happening. I'm sure on that front. I'm sure.
I'm sure a ton is happening behind the scenes right now.
Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting year. With this is the thing that happens every time when there's a new regime with Doctor Who, and this despite obviously RTD being involved in the show before, but the fact that it's being produced by Bad Wolf Studio, like this feels like it's actually being outside of the BBC in a way, like, but by BBC Studios and Bad Wolf, but like this is about as independent as Doctor Who has ever been, apart from the TV movie. And I think that's going to be different for things, and the fact that if BBC America is no longer involved in this, and maybe no longer involved in the show itself, is this, as we have been perhaps hoping for / portending on this podcast, is this the birth of Doctor Who being available somewhere else in outside?
Hold
of the
on.
UK?
I just like to dial that back. Let's get rid of that. You
I know.
Have been hoping for that.
I've been. But you can't deny it, though. I've been watching.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I just think saying that we're all advocating for this is a bit of a misnomer.
What thing
you are enthusiastically? I'm like, I'll wait and see what happens.
I tell you what. One thing I'm really looking forward to in the possibility of Doctor Who not being crammed into a BBC schedule and sort of being available on a streaming service first is. It was a BBC edict a few years ago that says all end credits have to be 30 seconds or shorter, and so the theme song had to be sped up. The credits are completely a blur now if you want to read them and stuff. And then I'm watching like Book of Boba Fett, and like the credits are like 2.5 minutes long.
Longer.
and
Mandalorian credits are like 9 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, there's going to be this is the one thing we hadn't considered. There could potentially be like a full 3-minute version of the Doctor Who theme that airs at the end of every episode of Doctor Who, because the credits will be slow.
With streaming, with streaming, they always put on all the different foreign language versions too. So like, I'm just finishing up The Last Man on Earth on Disney because I never got around to watching all of it, and it goes by pretty quick. But the end credits don't, because I'm like, I'll just let it play out. No, 6 minutes later, there's more credits in Russian, and I'm like, the hell is this?
But that's
you're talking the Will Forte show.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But that's after the actual theme ends. They don't usually do that over the end theme. It's always just a black screen and stuff. So, but like the actual proper end credits of like was like 2.5 minutes long. It's like, if we get the whole version of the Doctor Who theme, we don't have to rush through it and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that potentially too. Never thought about that. That might tip the scales. Yeah, full list of credits. Love to get Toby Haydock on board. That's for sure.
That appeals to about 4 people on the planet, but yeah.
I know. Wow.
Yeah. And actually, the whole thing with the animations, much as I want to see them, that is a niche of a niche of a niche. So
it is. I mean,
that.
Josh Snares did a video about this, and how saying he's kind of like inaccessible the telesnaps are. I do agree with him. I do prefer the telesnaps.
Completely. No, absolutely not.
But I also appreciate that the animations are there. I think they are a better way.
How did we go from this is a niche to I think telesnaps are better? That's so far down a niche. You've actually gone through the core of the earth and out the other side.
I prefer the telesnaps, but I also I mean the animation is impressive. The fact that they do this.
I completely disagree. Telesnaps are drudge work. I admire the work that gets put into them.
Yep.
But I cannot watch them.
I know. Well, what I'm saying, Warren, is that the animations are good. This is what I'm building to.
But you prefer the telesnaps. What I'm saying is you're crazy.
But what I love is that they actually include colored black and white and telesnap versions of each episode on there.
Yes, all right.
In previous episodes, I've sort of compared the animations to target novelizations. It's an interpretation of the episode as it originally aired, and so once I came to terms with that, thinking, okay, I can accept everything apart from the missing bit from Macatera. That was unforgivable, of course, but
yes, what a war crime.
Yeah, so yeah, I hope the animations do continue. It would be intriguing if they did them the same way as the Web of Fear Part 3, which I actually like, despite the characters perhaps being a little dodgy looking. I thought the actual action that happened in that style of animation best portrayed 1960s Doctor Who. So I'll be intrigued to see when, not if, when the animations start up again. What kind of style they will be post Abominable Snowmen.
Speaking of the Web of Fear, I guess we should make mention that Amazon Canada has decided to cancel, well, at least your and my orders for the Web of Fear special
pre-orders, which I'm sure we did back in like 2019. It feels that long ago.
Mine was June of last year, according to the confirmation email.
Right.
But yeah, Amazon just on like 3 weeks before release, like just unceremoniously canceled those pre-orders. Yep. They've relisted it, relisted the product under a different SKU and at a different price as well, of course.
Right.
And then you and I have got ordered from the BBC Shop Canada.
The BBC Shop, yeah, outside of Bezos, outside of the law.
Yeah.
Beyond the police.
Beyond the police. Beyond Jeff Bezos. Take that.
But
straight from the source. Wow.
It's getting kind of tough to source these things in Canada. Like one friend on Facebook put that he put the picture of him buying Web of Fear at Barnes & Noble like 3 weeks before official release. They've got it on the shelf, and it's already 30% off. And
in
whatever.
the UK, yeah.
No, in the States.
What?
Barnes & Noble.
That was...
and
makes no sense whatsoever. Is that was that the UK version then that you saw, or was that...
No, it's the US one. I sent you guys a picture of it the other day.
I just assumed that was the UK version.
No, US.
I feel very confused. Very, very confused.
So, like, there's Amazon and BBC directly seem to be like the only places to buy these things in Canada now, because like Best Buy,
no,
and we don't really have a Barnes and Noble. Like, we've got Chapters Indigo, but they are usually A, way more money, and B, really poor selection.
They're
anyway.
I admire them in that they haven't really stuck to books. There's a Lego section in Chapters now. Like, well, okay, I like Lego as much as the next me.
I know more than most.
Yeah, just like, but I don't necessarily need to have a Lego section in at Chapters. But they don't really focus on DVD Blu-ray at Chapters.
No, they tried for a while some years ago, but they priced themselves out of the market really for the most part.
Well, I tell you what, I would go into a Chapters Indigo if they actually had the season 17, aka Tom Baker season 6 Blu-ray. Do you know how many times I hit refresh on the Amazon page that says currently unavailable a day? You know how many times?
100.
100 times. I check so many times. So many times. I have a tab open that I'm going to right now, and there it is. And it says currently unavailable. I hit it refresh again, and it's currently unavailable. And I literally, that's been my life the past 2 months, is checking when this thing's coming on.
One positive thing, I guess, though, is we do have a release date in North America for Galaxy 4.
Galaxy 4, April 5th on Blu-ray. That's right, the first animated Blu-ray that we get in this part of the world. These usually just been on DVD, so that's kind of exciting, I guess. But hoy, I don't know. Listen, I don't know who's responsible for all this, but I will say that BBC America has often delayed the DVD releases for these in North America because they wanted to air it first several months down the line after it came out in the UK. So if BBC America pulling out of doing animated recons means that we can get these things on a more timely basis in line with the UK, I'm all for it.
Except for the fact that 17, as you say, still has no North American information whatsoever.
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I can't begin to tell you. This feels worse than Omicron right now. Yeah, no.
Wow.
Straight comparison.
Captain, what's the word I'm looking for here? Nonsense?
I have a little bit. I said that.
Captain Hyperbole.
Hyperbole. There we go. Hyperbole is what I'm looking for.
I said that as a reaction. I'm very upset.
The only saving grace mentally is that at least the UK doesn't have any releases announced going forward.
That's true.
Yet.
I like how your answer is, well, I wish ill upon them as well. So
at least they're not like 2 boxes.
No, but they can now like at least have, they can learn what we're feeling.
Watch tomorrow. Watch Watch Monday. Lee Binding's artwork will come out and says, looks like they're getting season 20 and it's coming out in February.
Double set because everything's got 18 hours of studio footage per episode.
Yeah.
Not per story, per episode.
Per episode. They probably do. Still waiting for season 17. Anyway, that's our weekly nonsense about.
And wait, we shall.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about conventions. Remember those? Gallifrey 1 is coming up in a month. 1 month from today.
Yep.
They had a brief update with a couple of guests. Heather Chalens, who's a freelance producer for Big Finish, is making her first appearance at a Gallifrey 1. But yes, just basic COVID update. Got to be vaccinated, wear a mask, all that sort of stuff. Just it's a basic running down the stuff. Programming updates coming very soon, and the like. So all the news and notes from last week's update is in the show notes. And the 2022 charity is the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank. That's for the Bob May Memorial Charity Auction, which takes place throughout the convention and then happens on the Sunday afternoon, usually on the Gallifrey 1. So there you go. Links in the show notes for all the stuff about Gallifrey 1. If you can make Gallifrey 1, but you're in London and you want to see the stars of TV's Doctor Who, well, you can.
Get a mortgage.
February 26th, 27th, London Comic-Con at the Olympia in London will feature her first convention appearance post-Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker, and Mandip Gill, who will be fresh off her Gallifrey 1 appearance.
Just the Saturday for Jodie.
Just the Saturday for Jodie Whittaker. You can get autographs, you can get photo shoot, you can get a green screen photo shoot, a double photo shoot with Mandip Gill, and then a talk. I didn't realize the talk. It says The Talk. It's like a 1980s like emo band or something like that. It's all in caps. I assume that's a panel. They have like a panel, interview panel or something like that. That costs like £25 pounds to get into. £25 to get into a panel. That seems ridiculous. But
if I got a green screen photo, I'd also green screen in the Queen in her green screen dress. And then I would just basically have Queen's floating head next to us.
Well, in
whatever location I decide.
I'm just trying to think of the logistics of all that. There's your photo shoot price, which is £75, and then your green screen photo shoot, which is £85. Like, they go, okay, wants the green screen, so they got to move Mandip and Jodie all the way over here, and they go, oh, no, this is regular, we're back over there. Like, it feels like a lot of moving around for the guest, as opposed to just, having the guest stay there in place.
Or it's all green screen, and they just have whatever the background is keyed in if you want the standard one, and if you want just the green screen, you pay
extra.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Just to have them actually turn off and just give you the green screen for your own shenanigans later.
All I can say is for £85 a pop,
right,
the talent can move.
Yeah, that's a good point. Come on, right. Talent.
That's right. Still,
the diamond, and this has hit the UK tabloids in a negative way as well.
Never
the so-called diamond.
What
pass,
a surprise!
So-called diamond pass for Jodie Whittaker, which is an autograph photo shoot, The Talk, and a gift.
However, they're blaming her. Like, the talent is not setting these prices. Come on.
£220.
Yeah.
On top of the entry of, I think it was £18 or something to get into the.
I'm sure they're getting paid as they should be for their time. But yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're getting a cut of all the autograph and whatever stuff as well.
But I'm pretty sure they're not sitting there twirling their imaginary mustaches, cackling.
Oh God, no. But they will be counting some earnings after the fact for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker making money doesn't really hurt me all that much.
No, nor me, actually.
All the crap she went through as the Doctor, give her all the money in the world.
Exactly.
Right?
That's idiot tax.
That is an idiot tax.
Idiot tax, yeah. They're not getting $20 million a movie or an episode or something like that. Some people in those states.
Until she becomes Avar Chris of the High Republic fame, which, is completely fan casting on my part. But
a lot of people are doing that apparently for some Star Wars thing, apparently, because Jodie Whittaker has blonde hair in Doctor Who, so therefore she would make...
No, she looks basically like the person on the book cover. That's why people are doing it.
Oh. Well...
For whatever it's worth, Mandip Gill's like £25 for an autograph or a photo, which is like a third of Jodie Whittaker.
Kind of
like I'm not going to say that's more reasonable because
all
that's extortionate.
Yeah.
But
get a new agent, Mandip Gill. You'd be driving a hard bargain there.
But she's a lot less costly.
Yeah. If you're being frugal and you're going to London Comic-Con,
if you're being frugal, you're not going to London Comic-Con to pay for panels.
I hope everyone's being safe, because I don't know, a massive convention like that feels, ill-advised. But Wait, what are you gonna do? Everything's paralyzed. Listen, if you can have weekend parties during all this in the UK, I think you're.
Well, no, you can't, and you can't.
That's
you can't.
True.
You conservatives,
That's
you
true.
sure can.
That's true.
The rules are different if you're in charge. You see.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever it's worth, Bernard Cribbins is there
as well. Bernard Cribbins, he's over 90 now.
Who.
Wow, that's
among other people who've been in Doctor Who. But.
Yeah, I think Sylvester McCoy's there too. I think actually. Everyone's there. Everyone goes to London Comic Cons because it's right there. For all the people in the UK, it's like, oh, yeah, sure, we'll go down there. I'll just catch the tube. I'll hop on it. Euston. I haven't been to the UK for so long that I've forgotten the
Olympia's on the District line.
No, you're going to go to Cockfosters if you're going anywhere.
Cockfosters.
Not Warren Street?
Not Warren Street. Or Goode Street. Goode Street is nearby Warren Street, as I recall. I remember that because of... Line. Yeah, I remember Googe from Terror of the Autons. I just assumed that all stations in London, on the London Underground, are named after Radio Free Skaro hosts or side characters in Doctor Who episodes from the 1970s.
I think you may be incorrect.
Never.
Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy both will be there, yes.
Good old C-Bake. We'll talk about him later in this episode. And also Sylvester McCoy, because the commentary is coming up, but not after 36 minutes of banter, which you've
Gallifrey 1 guest.
And Gallifrey 1 guest. I know as well. Yeah. Look at that. We just plowed through a good half of our news list. But now it's time to once again look back at the this week in Doctor Who history in our weekly segment, which is the Time Lash. Mostly press broadcast history. If I can remember it, I have to remember in a couple weeks' time that some significant event happened off screen that wasn't to do with broadcast dates that I have to talk about. But that's not this week. This week is what do we got here? The Romans started on January 16th, 1965 with the slave traders. I think it got like 13 million viewers because they were still coasting off the high of the rescue.
I remember nothing of the Romans, not even the book.
I remember the book was strange. The book was strange.
Written in a really weird fashion.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh, is that the one that Homer wrote, basically?
As good as, yeah. Like Donald Cotton did the novelization.
But it's in the voice of Homer, yeah. It's
that's the Mythmakers. You're thinking of the Mythmakers.
Oh, okay.
The Romans was still written in a really, really weird fashion.
Like a diary entry or something from a Roman commit. Okay. It was very strange.
Something like that? Yeah. I'm tempted to grab it off the shelf.
When you're a kid reading Terrence Dick's books, you're like, what is this madness?
I know. So I didn't get into it. I did not read it at all because I thought this is very strange to me.
It was also one of the later Target releases. I don't know if maybe you were like...
It was mid-'80s, I think. I see the neon logo on the front. I see William Hartnell in a still from something, not from the Romans, but he's wearing a Roman garb.
Is that when they did those really bad photo montages?
No.
It was drawn.
It's probably a Colin Howard one, I think. No, it was a really good one. I can't remember if it was Colin Howard or who did it, but I could see it. It's like pinkish. Like sort of like a lighter color on the cover and stuff. Anyway, it exists.
I'm trying to skim through my... Like I said, I'm quasi-tempted just to grab it off the
just do it.
Shelf behind me, but I'm not...
Just go.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, okay. Are you sure?
Than I realized. I'm still going through my PDF collection of the books.
You see the cover. I'm right about the cover,
we're
though.
Here for a while.
I'm right about the cover, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it was very prominent Hartnell.
Yeah. Wait, you see the cover. Wait, you see the cover. Very provocative
Number 120.
Indeed.
Okay.
120.
And there's Nero in the background with a lyre.
Yeah. I remember cover. I have like photographic memory for those, and I have an embarrassing memory for dates. Erica and I were talking about an author, the author of The Goblin Emperor, a book she's reading right now, and we were looking her up. The author, Catherine Addison, which is a pen name, and the person, we looked at her Wikipedia page, and she was born on November 25th, 1974, and I go, oh, that's the day Nick Drake died. And we said, what? I'm pretty sure Nick Drake, Pink Moon, you remember the song Pink Moon, a folk artist?
Folk guy.
Folk guy. Came into much greater acclaim like 20 years after he died. And sure enough...
a Volkswagen ad.
Yeah, and sure enough, I go to the Wikipedia page, Nick Drake died November 25th, 1974. I remembered this. These are the things that I remember. Romans target
novelization shoe size, but
no, I don't. No, I wear a size 10, 11 skate and 12 shoe, and I think, but I know which day. I know what the cover of the Romans looks like, and I know what day Nick Drake died, and indeed what day.
You are.
Catherine Addison.
What day the music died?
A dork.
Yeah, that was my birthday several years before I was born, February 3rd, 1959. So there.
I loathe the song American Pie. I really, really do.
That's all right.
Even Madonna's version?
All versions.
I actually
goes on forever. Sucks. The only good version is Weird Al. Weird Al one,
yeah, the Weird Al one, yeah. Let's Snake Dance debuted 17th and 18th because that still feels weird to me. 2 episodes in 2 days. I prefer Snake Dance to Kinda.
I dislike both.
Yeah, I'm with Chris on this one. I've never liked either of them.
I've never.
I know that's blasphemy, but I don't care.
Of the 2, I prefer Kinda.
Right.
Yeah, Snake Dance is even weirder.
I know. Snake Dance has some proper. It doesn't have that jungle. The jungle really let me down, even as a kid. Especially
the jungle doesn't look good, but then the supporting actors in Kinda are way better.
They're really good. Well, I don't know. I like Martin Clunes. What's her name who played Lady Tana? John Carson as Ambril. I find amusing. I like a lot about Snake Dance. No. I want to point out then that Robot Part 4 aired on January 18th, 1975. Chris, that is the last episode of Doctor Who that aired before you were born.
It was, yeah.
It was. And
that's a great one.
6 days later. Yeah. 6 days later you were born.
Ark in Space aired after I was born. So.
Just after. Although, I don't know. What time of day were you? I know. Either way, it's...
7 p.m. or something.
7 p.m.
Wow.
I remember that.
A niche of a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche.
Yeah, I was born like 20 to 2 in the morning on February 3rd. So,
your poor mother.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mom.
About everything.
Yeah.
Not only Snake Dance, but also from the year prior, episode 1 of Fort of Doomsday.
Yes.
Which I still adore.
Why do people hate Fort of Doomsday? People hate it. And I do not understand. I love it too.
It's because, well, A, it's racist as bleep.
There is that.
B, it looks cheap as bleep.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, it does.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. Like the visual effects on the cliffhanger for what's his face?
We're talking one though.
Oh, so terrible.
Tony Burrow's set design is amazing. I think he does splendid. He did that. He did Keeper of Chalk, and he did Warriors of the Deep, which Eric and I watched for Verity recently, and it's really
two things that really help make it not look cheaper. Number one, for all the recreationals, the fact they actually have the second level for the gallery, which I love, and then all the costumes and the choreography and whatnot for the recreationals is fantastic.
Right.
But as a story, I just adore the base story.
I know. This is such a Fort of Doomsday echo chamber. I
totally.
If you were
I love the cricket ball thing, what people hate, but I love it.
I love it. I love the music in that from Roger Lim. When I was a kid, that first opening shot, the cheap looking shot of the spaceship flying over, thinking, yeah, spaceships in Doctor Who. This is it. I mean, I was spoiled the week before.
Being a total insufferable prat.
He is a bit insufferable.
Well, what's changed, really? He's never not been that, so.
Love Fort of Doomsday. But wandering around spaceships, that is what Doctor Who's all about to me. And Fort of Doomsday Part 1 was just that. Then Part 2 I had the next day because 1982. Hey, it worked. It doubled the ratings from the previous year. So who would it
Much like Snake Dance, speaking of Peter Davison stories I don't care for, The Awakening.
The Awakening.
Both episodes of that aired this week.
That's true.
It is pretty turgid, I gotta say.
It's all right. I don't mind it.
I could never... Yeah.
It's two-parters were weird because they were often, whenever they showed for us here in North America on KSPS in the 1980s, they rarely occupied a night to themselves. It was often a 4-part story, and then, you know what? It's only 50. We'll put the Awakening on right after. So often the Awakening just aired right after Warriors of the Deep, in my experience. And it's like, we got a bonus Doctor Who episode. There's a regular Doctor Who episode, and then it just gets, you know what? Just because you're you, here's another one. I thought that was pretty neat. So I always look at like Awakening and the King's Demons and Black Orchid. It's like, yeah, we earned this. We sat through some of this other, we got to enjoy that, and then we get a bonus one on top of that.
I've come to like King's Demons more
Really?
than I used to.
I think the
and
Awakening.
I've always dug Black Orchid.
Right.
But no, I just can't. I just can't enjoy The Awakening.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Awakening
someday
feels a lot longer than its 2 episodes.
I don't know. I feel like they cram a lot in. I feel like they rush towards the end in episode 2, which aired on the 20th of January.
Yeah, it still feels like it's dragging to it. I can't really explain it other than that, but it does.
Well, that's right. I can't wait till we do a commentary on it one day. The Awakening. Haven't done it. I know that for sure.
14-hour commentary on The Awakening.
On The Awakening. It only feels like that. I think there's some good location footage going on in there.
Sure.
Michael Owen Morris.
The Malice as a prop was not bad.
Right, so it vomits everywhere in the TARDIS. But that's another thing. Everyone in the town goes into the TARDIS at the end of it. It's like, this is getting a little bit.
Yeah, sick, that's just called the Davison era.
Yeah, that's
exactly
true. Everyone goes in there.
Same day as episode 1, we've also got Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. A couple
That's
years
right.
ago.
The first and to date only Canadian content in Doctor Who, because the first shot is at Niagara Falls, part of which is
we will take anything.
We will literally
absolutely.
We'll completely disregard the TV movie.
Well, because it's not. It's shot in Canada, but it's not. They.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is not. No, trust me. Having walked through its various sets, more or less.
Yes,
yeah.
E.G. So's
exteriors, I guess.
E.G. So's photo book is a good resource for that.
It's a good resource. Good story. I like that episode. I like that episode a lot.
Yeah.
Goran Visnich does a great job as Nikola Tesla. That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Saw him recently as we round out our rounded past tense now, I guess, our David Fincher-a-thon. He was briefly in Social Network.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, never saw that movie.
Oh, fantastic film.
I only watch Doctor Who, apparently, so I don't...
That's true, you do.
Yeah, I do. Because, why watch anything else? Watching three separate...
You could watch in 1979, episode 1 of The Armageddon Factor.
Yes,
which you don't like.
That's another one that gets crapped on, which I love.
Yes, so, please, I will watch The Armageddon Factor. I will watch The Armageddon Factor from 6 Ways till Sunday. I love it. I love The Armageddon Factor.
You're a very stupid machine.
Yes.
Which I say to Twitter on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love The Armageddon Factor unequivocally. Love it. Would have been there. Scared the bejesus out of him. The Shadow doesn't appear in episode 1, but the Shadow is...
he's great.
Great.
I love him.
John Woodvine is awesome as the Marshal. I love
Drax,
him.
Come on.
Drax.
I distinctly remember reading the Target novelization before seeing the story, and I had higher expectations of the Shadow than what we actually got.
Yeah, but that's everything. And whenever you read the Target novelization first, you're setting yourself up for a fall. Like, come on.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong.
Especially with the older stuff. I remember reading all of Hartnell and Troughton stuff way back, and then seeing the originals and going,
So the book was a Terrence Dix joint. Okay.
Well, I'm not surprised. Back in those days, he probably wrote it when they were making it. Probably
number 5 in the series. Back when they were doing alphabetical numbering.
Yeah, they completely rearranged. What was it 19? There had been like 100 books had come out by the time this. You know what? We should number these things, and so they basically backdated the ordering and just did it alphabetically up until a point. And I don't know what point that was. Maybe it was the 80s or something like that.
I don't have the dates in front of me or anything, but the book that changed it all was Time Flight.
Was that the one?
Number 74.
That bucked the trend, the alphabetical
trend.
There's
a sentence you don't hear every day. The book that
Zarbai.
changed it all is Time Flight.
Zarbai.
Said
Zarbai, that's wrong.
Zarbai, are they from Metabolus or Metabolus?
Metabolus.
Yeah, they're from Vortiz. The Zarbai. January 22nd, 1966, featured episode 11 of the Daleks Master Plan, The Abandoned Planet. What's so curious about this is what, 52 years ago? No, I have no idea what math is. What is, I have no idea.
Don't look at me.
56 years? That's a long time ago. 56 years ago, and then we still don't know why. So if you watch the recon, because there's no animated one yet, sorry, Warren. If you watch there's a TARDIS scene at the beginning of this, because they land on the planet, whatever planet it is, can't remember.
The abandoned one.
The abandoned one. And they emerge, and the Doctor immediately runs off and is not seen for the rest of the episode, and only comes back about halfway through episode 12. And to this day, nobody knows why. Hartnell was obviously...
Hartnell wasn't on vacation.
Hartnell wasn't on vacation.
Was he sick?
He wasn't sick. Huh? Was this around the time when he and John Wiles were arguing pretty vehemently? And I'm wondering if maybe like Hartnell just said, you know what, halfway through the rehearsals, I'm out. I'm walking off the set, or I'm annoyed or something. Like Peter Purvis hasn't really said anything specifically. I mean, it was 56 years ago. But no one really knows. And since we don't have, actual moving footage of this or even telesnap footage, it's such a mystery as to why Hartnell disappears for a large portion of the story, which is quite fascinating. I think also on this exact same day, because the TARDIS was needed. Is it this day or the day before? Or the next episode? Don't quote me on this. That they filmed Dodo's first scene for the next story, the massacre. And because they only had one proper TARDIS prop, and it was being used for this, they had to cobble together one of the worst TARDIS props ever seen for the brief location shot that would feature in the massacre. And when you look at shots of Jackie Lane in the photo call of her as the new companion in Doctor Who, she's standing next to this homemade TARDIS, and everyone thought that was a homemade TARDIS. No, that's the actual prop from the episode. And I'm dying to see the Massacre Part 4 because of the amazing William Hartnell speech at the end, but also I want to see that really crappy TARDIS prop canonized in Doctor Who. So that all happened on the day they shot episode 11 of the Daleks Master Plan. How about that, eh? I don't watch TV shows, Warren. I don't watch anything.
I know you don't.
But I know this. This is stuff I know. And that Nick Drake...
Complain about the Book of Boba Fett, which you don't watch or hate watch.
I watch, and there are some silly things going on in that, and I'm a little concerned about where this thing's going. But
and of course, your stuff about the Massacre episode 4, we see nothing of the sword in the Ark Part 1 afterwards. So.
No, we don't. Nope, not at all. So... it's a mystery. It's all a mystery. But anyway, that's what happened this week in Doctor Who history in the Time Lash.
It's a mystery, and that's what happened in history.
That rhymes. History mystery. Magical.
Mysterious and hysterious.
Magical history tour, we could almost call it. Which kind of it is, actually. That's actually what it's called. It's called Tragical History Tour. That's the website we get from.
Yes.
TragicalHistoryTour.com. Speaking of Terrence Dixon novelizations, it's amazing that we actually referenced that. Paperback versions of the Essential Terrence Dicks, volumes 1 and 2, which are, collections of 10 total books, I think, that he wrote?
Yeah, five per, yeah.
5 per, chosen by fans, are coming out on May the 2nd, 2022. You can pre-order them. And they have, those classic Penguin novel feel. And there's a very basic cover with the logo at the top, Doctor Who, Essential Terrence Dicks, and then a photo. And that's how, those Penguin books were done back in the day. So it feels minimalist and dumb, but in keeping with the style at the time, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Like an onion upon one's belt.
Very stylish.
Volume 1, of course, including the aforementioned Abominable Snowman and Wheel in Space.
Oh, the very rare Wheel in Space. The novelization. And indeed, 4 of the episodes are pretty rare, too, in that they don't exist, as far as we know. So
just
there you
looking
go.
through all the 10, I never really realized this. 8 of the 10 are super old novelizations as well. Only 5 Doctors and Wheel in Space are the later ones.
Well, I think
They're still old.
Yeah, I think they are still old. I mean, they were towards the end of the run, because Terrence Dicks wrote fewer. He scaled back, but the late 70s, early 80s, he was writing one a week.
He was the man.
He was the man, yeah. So there, May 2nd, those two, the paperback versions come out. If you didn't get the hardback, or if you're just waiting for the paperback, there you go. The time is now. Speaking of the time is now, April 13th, 2022, in time for Free Comic Book Day, which is May 7th, 2022, there is a one-off comic from Doctor Who, written by Joni Hauser, with the Joe Martin Doctor. What timing! Interesting timing.
That is cool.
Given
that is interesting.
Given that there's a Doctor Who Easter special coming out around that exact same time with the Sea Devils, I wonder if that's tying in at all. I'm merely speculating.
Or tying into the next one.
Or tying into the next
Is that
one.
when Easter is?
Yeah, that would be more likely.
So Good Friday is April 15th. Okay.
5th. Really? So 2 days before. Interesting. Because, I always just assume Doctor Who's going to be airing at Easter, that Easter weekend, just because...
You also assume a plan when there probably isn't one.
That's true.
Just happened to put this thing out at that time.
Kind of like Ron Moore with the Cylons. He assumed there was a plan.
Take your word for that. I do know which day Nick Drake died, though. So
that's the important one.
Yeah. It's important, yes.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, it probably is to more people than either Battlestar Galactica or Doctor Who comic books. But anyway,
right. So that's interesting. There's a cool looking cover. It's for Free Comic Book Day. So
very tie dye. Yeah.
Very tie-dye.
I do definitely want to see what they expand upon with Joe Martin's Doctor.
Very intrigued. Very, very intrigued. That's coming out April 13th, but for Free Comic Book Day, May 7th. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, Big Finish, Out of Time, 3, Wink, featuring the not only the Weeping Angels, but Doctors Who 10 and 6. Colin Baker and David Tennant together.
So I was thinking about this. Is he eventually going to meet himself, like the 10th Doctor, who has yet to go and visit all the other Doctors? Will they just keep going up the Doctors to get to the 7th, the 8th, the Christopher Eccleston now, and then he eventually meets himself?
That would be
Or is Handy involved somehow?
Well, that would be true. With TV, you can do a shorthand. They could wear different suits, but with audio, how can he portray himself but different from himself? When they should be the same person.
You'd have to have, I don't know, one Scottish, I guess. He just goes
but
with
then
the Scottish accent.
then why would he be doing that? That'd be silly.
I don't know. I have no idea. Well, the whole idea is kind of silly to begin with. So I still like them. I've got the 4th and 5th ones, and they're great.
Yeah.
So I'll get this one too, probably.
Well, it's the third and final Out of Time trilogy. Of course, he did.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, for now, you never know when.
True. It's Big Finish. Come on.
When another lockdown might happen, and David Tennant will be filming stuff, and then he's going to be doing a bunch more audio drama because he likes to work. Anyway, this is coming out July 2022, July of this year. Oh my goodness, July. Can't wait till July. Means it'll be summer and COVID will be over forever.
Best summer.
Sure won't.
Best summer ever. And you can listen
as beloved Alberta Premier Jason Kenney once said.
Yep. So there. That's pretty cool. I haven't watched Around the World in 80 Days. It's on PBS. That thing is, but it's got David Tennant in it. And that's why I mentioned him. Yeah, because he's been filming stuff now. So because he can do that. In the UK, we were talking about Blu-ray stuff and things. The UK throwing it back on our faces, not only just sort of having initial releases of Blu-ray sets, but then they also have standard edition, just the packaging's different. That's pretty much it, right? I mean, anyway.
I'm probably not, but yeah, I don't know. We don't really have direct access to these, so.
We don't, no. But the season 14 standard edition of the Doctor Who Blu-ray is coming out February 28th. Which means they'll probably have a new season announced before then, and we won't have it yet. So, so that's what that sort of portends, which is really sad. And the final thing is a Doctor Who board game coming, a tactical board game on April 16th, 2022. Why is everything coming out around Easter in the U.S.?
Probably to coincide with the
Doctor Who
special.
Easter special, yeah. Legend of the Sea Devils. It's called Don't Blink, the board game. It's a tactical board game featuring, surprise, surprise, the Weeping Angels. It's intriguing. So I haven't actually played any Doctor Who board games.
Just if you blink and you get slapped by your opponent. That's a whole game. You don't even need a board, really.
I am really upset that I got rid of Doctor Who Battle of the Universe way back when, because that was the Doctor Who board game that I have. But we have another one, because Erica inherited it more or less from her mom when she moved here. She said, "Here, take this," and so we did. And it's like the FASA board game. It's made around the same time as the role playing game.
So mid-80s.
Very similar packaging, and I haven't never played it. So
I never played the FASA board game. Or a role-playing game either.
Yeah.
I don't
well,
think
you and I did a little bit, Warren. I don't think we ever played it right. But.
No.
It's a RPG. You can't play it right, so never mind.
No. Games for 2 to 5 players, ages 14 up, plays in 30 minutes. I love that the article says that. You will have 30 minutes to play this game for $30.
I mean, these days, that's a super important thing to publish, though, is how long it takes to play a game.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, if they do that for a video game, I don't want to know. Like, oh, don't tell me 3 hours. I'm not playing that. That sounds like nothing. I'd rather spend some time in there. But this is a board game.
Yeah, but it's different. You also don't play video games the way other people play video games.
That's true. You're a completionist.
Oh, I'm dumb.
Although plenty of people are completionists in video games.
You're thinking of like how you play GTA, for example.
Just wander around and go to a beach.
See, I've been playing Halo Infinite, and since I've finished the main campaign, I'm spending most of my time committing utter and complete genocide on this island where you're supposed to take out all the... Like, I think I've taken out every single enemy, and I think there's probably more coming my way, so I'm like, I will murder every single creature in this game. Everyone has to die. Oh. Why the hell not? I got plenty of time on my hands.
What he's playing will be a window into his insanity.
Yes. Oh, like you. Okay.
Feeling fine.
Every video game is that. Like Uncharted, you're supposed to be this noble hero, but you are a mass murderer. Like you're going around shooting and killing everyone. Right. At least in GTA or like Halo, at least they're like the enemy in a war. Right. Or in GTA, you're a criminal, so surprise, surprise, you're popping people. But I'm just saying, every video game's like that. You can't get away around it, really.
Yeah. Anyway, the game's coming out April 16th, along with everything else, apparently. So there we are. But what's coming now, though, at the end of our news list, right after the break, is our commentary for Remembrance of the Daleks, Part 1.
Are the microphones wired in?
All around the condenser, most merciful. We're looking forward to excellent duodecaphonic sound.
This is the moment when I get a real feeling of job satisfaction.
Welcome to the Classic Series commentary portion of this podcast, where we dive back to the one and only Sylvester McCoy story that Warren has tolerated from the very beginning.
That's right. One of 2.5 that I enjoy.
Right? It's the unofficial 25th anniversary story of Doctor Who.
Because we'd rather have it than the actual 25th anniversary story.
It's the story. The story itself is the same as Silver Nemesis, and it's way better than Silver Nemesis.
Is that received fan wisdom, or is that just you saying it's unofficial?
I think you know what? If you were to look at the top, we're doing Remembrance of the Daleks, by the way. If you were to look at the Doctor Who magazine poll, I don't have it in front of me. Maybe this mentioning of it will prompt Chris to Google it right now while I'm speaking. But I'm betting you that Silver Nemesis at some point is probably a little bit lower than Remembrance of the Daleks in that poll. Just a tiny bit.
Remembrance is number 14.
14? I'm going to guess.
Silver Nemesis 176.
There you go.
So basically 14th worst, essentially. Almost.
25th worst.
25th
what
worst.
bookends Silver Nemesis?
On the other side, Gunfighters and Arc of Infinity.
Both those are lies. I like both those.
I'd much... Yeah. What? Oh, God,
and we're on, for Remembrance, above is Stolen Earth Journey's End, just below is Dalek.
Oh, okay.
So three Dalek stories in a row on the list there.
Yeah, wow. All featuring levitating Daleks. Spoilers for the cliffhanger of episode 1, which we're about to watch right now. I assume you have your legally purchased DVDs, or hey, in the near future, maybe the Blu-rays. I'm looking forward to the Blu-rays in this because there's a lot of raw studio and location footage that I want to get to grips with on this. Excellent. Here we go then, everyone. Remembrance of the Daleks, episode 1 in 3, 2, 1, play.
No matter how many times I've seen this always surprises me.
I remember this bit because I remember back in March 25th, 1989. I had to confirm that this was the case. I saw this for the first time. It was on KSPS Spokane, and it actually aired in its episodic format as a special one-off. Like it was there in the middle of the Tom Baker run, and they showed this. So this was at the beginning of the episode, but for the omnibus version, it was right after, and it did this weird dissolve from the end of that to
I remember that, yeah.
Pamela Salem walking across the schoolyard.
As Warren and or myself have said, I don't know how many times over the years on this podcast, there was a pooling of monies taken by 10-0, the local Edmonton Doctor Who fan club,
right?
Where somebody had a off-air PAL recording hot off the presses from BBC One.
Meaning 6 months later or whatever it was.
Yeah, just like, how long did you wait for this? Like, was it, did it literally, it literally showed up like March 26th, the day after it aired on KSPS.
It was well before KSPS showed it.
Yeah. Okay.
But, there's a pooling of monies to pay for the PAL-D NTSC conversion and duplication and all that kind of stuff. So I think
it worked out $120 as I recall.
Yeah. I forget how many people put in, but I think it was $20 a person or something. It worked
something
out to
like
be.
that, yeah.
And man, I watched the hell out of that tape.
Man,
so did I.
That's hilarious. So obviously the Czech Lies and Videotapes is one of the great documentaries of your wonderful soul that's on the Revenge of the Cybermen.
That's a great documentary. I love it
because it's all about people like you.
Yep.
I never did that.
Enterprising people.
I never had friends, so
still don't.
Wow.
Not really.
To a dark place, awful quick.
Listen, I'd argue against that, but really, where's the lie? Where's the lie?
To your point about the similarities between this and Silver Nemesis, even Ace's boombox plays a role.
Yeah, it's people say, oh, the Cartmel master plan. This is he gets darker and stuff. Like he's like there when Omega starts and everything and Rassilon and everything. Oh, we're gonna really build this out into something else. And this is basically this is the only story of the Cartmel master plan. Let's face it.
Yeah, I mean that's an implication that gets put out there, or at least it's an inference I've drawn. Mm-hmm. When they're on the steps in episode 3, 4, whatever it is. But I mean, there's also all the stuff about the first Doctor and the casket and the Welsh Undertaker. I thought he was an old guy with white hair.
Old geezer with white hair.
Old geezer with white hair.
Yeah. Get to him later. This story inspired my first ever bit of Doctor Who fan fiction, to the point where I actually didn't write like a story. I wrote it as a script for what I had hoped to be. Remember, I was 14 at the time. I would hope to be a Lego stop motion deal.
I was waiting for Lego to get its brickish claws into this.
Which me and my friend, went down to the local cable, the little local access cable studio to talk about them. Could you allow for me to come down here and shoot my Lego Doctor Who story? And we actually ran through it and what we would do. We didn't shoot anything that day. I didn't bring my Lego with me, but I had sets built at home and everything, and I was all pretty much ready to go. It never came to pass, but
that's every filmmaker, frankly. So
I know. It was a two-part story. It was called Clash of the Daleks. It was for a character that I came up with called Commander Y. Get it? Commander Y, not Doctor Who.
I get it.
And as I remember reading it like several years after the fact, thinking this is basically just me writing a 2-part story version of Remembrance of the Daleks. At 14, I was like, oh, I'm going to write something that's it's the same thing. I'm writing the same thing.
Of course it is. But you're 14, so.
Yeah. But hey, I got an 8 out of 10 in language and arts class because I submitted it as a thing for an assignment as well. I used it. So there, all because of this. This is the culmination of my fandom right now. Is basically
what's the name of the girl in the pilot?
Susan?
Heather.
Heather, that
yes.
pilot.
Heather is somewhere on this screen.
She's a puddle somewhere.
I was so creeped out by the little girl back in the day,
right?
With the rhyme as she does hopscotch or whatever, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's the Doctor at the gate, and I'm like, whoa. And then
Jasmine Breaks. She was 12. Jasmine Breaks is 12, which makes her now, brace yourself, older now.
Mm-hmm. Is this Osgood's mom? This looks like it might be Osgood's mom. Or grandmother.
76.
This is Toos.
She is a year younger than I am, Jasmine Breaks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I guess that would make sense. This was 88. She was 12 then. So
I had to do a lot of math to come to that. A lot of math.
I'm just saying I want this to be Osgood's mom in the show or grandmother.
Osgood already has, because there is an Osgood in The Demons, as played by Alec Linstead. I don't need to tell you that. Which I bet you Moffat probably says, we'll call her Osgood because she's probably a granddaughter of or daughter, depending on the timeline.
I like that she doesn't understand this nonsense either.
No.
This is what I say whenever I go to the States about Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
What? No, just tell me what it is in real temperature.
When I was watching this the first time, I just assumed that Perryvale was a fictitious community.
I did too.
I didn't think it was real.
It was many years after this when I first saw a tube map and saw Perryvale on the Central Island.
Next you're going to tell me
Never actually did go there though.
No, I should go there. I should go to Perryvale.
Why? There's just social workers and skinheads tied up on trees.
I mean, I've been to Warren Street. That's enough, right?
I've been to several different Warren Streets, and people like to send me pictures of themselves at Warren Street.
That's true.
Better that than Cockfosters.
Which made everybody who wasn't British laugh on my train. At the airport.
Cockfosters makes the British laugh as well. Don't worry.
So, can we headcanon the blatant spelling mistake on the door?
Apparently that's the canon. It's recanonified in some novels or something.
Is it really? I was going to say that there's obviously two entrances to this scrapyard, and the other one is actually proper, and this one is wrong. That's my guess.
These are the Counter-Strike guys, right?
Yeah.
From Big Finish.
It is. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't say which ones, but the Junkyard Gate is labeled I Am Foreman with an E here. Though this was later retconned by a couple of books, it was nevertheless a genuine production error, as admitted on the DVD release production notes.
Oh, I know. It's even worse that it was LM Foreman. They actually quickly changed the L to an I.
Well, here's how you fix that. They're not in the original Junkyard. They're just in a different one.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's a lot bigger. There's no I don't see any of the junk that we see there. But as the Doctor himself says in An Unearthly Child, there's only one way in or out here. I shall be waiting here when you bring the policeman back. I want to see the looks on your face, and so forth.
Every time I see a Counter-Strike audio, I forget this exists. I'm like, what the hell is a Counter-Strike? Every single time.
It's these cats. They take place in present, basically 25 years after this. Basically the actors are present day, right? Is that how that goes with Counter-Strike? I haven't listened to them. Warren, you haven't listened to them.
I haven't listened to them either. No, because why would I be? If I listened to them, I wouldn't be so damn baffled every time.
Right. I mean, every time I see a picture of Simon Williams there as group captain Chunky Gilmore, looks like he does today. So yeah.
Apparently, he was an upstairs, downstairs, and was quite the person people were in awe of.
Yeah, Chris has got TARDIS.wiki.com open, by the way.
Yeah, amongst other things, but yeah. So the direction in I love the direction. I love the moving of the camera. Couple moments ago when we had high shot as the truck rolled in, and as we have here. So it just looks so. It looks so not cheap, which is good. And then I also love between this and then of course the cliffhanger, just how this story just makes the Daleks scary.
Made them cool again, didn't it?
Made them cool, made them badass, made them however you want to describe it. But the dead soldier here, massive internal displacement.
Yeah.
The last time would have been Destiny, right? I think. No, Resurrection.
Revelation. Oh my God!
They're not bad. In those
this stunt is awesome.
Tip-tipping?
Oh yeah,
yeah. And Erica, boy, as a kid, my God, did I just I
remember the VFX going, how did they do that?
Oh, I wore the VHS tape out.
That's my favorite part of the whole episode when I was a kid too.
Yeah, that stunt fall from tipping. Just superb. Sadly dead now, of course.
Wait for a target.
I watched this a lot. I know that Attack of the Cybermen was the only VHS, only story I had in VHS for a long time. This was also one of them. So I watched the hell out of the story.
I mean, when Revelation, they're not scary. There's just not a lot of them. It's mostly Davros.
It's mostly Davros. Yeah, the Daleks.
Which I'm fine with. I love it.
Yeah, Daleks take center stage here.
Harper does a hell of a job making them a bit badass.
Yeah,
but not like here at all.
No.
Well, this is a proper Dalek story. I mean, so is Resurrection when you get right down to it. But
little green blobs and bonded polycarbonate armor.
called him Brigadier at some point too, I think.
Yes.
I think we stepped over that, but incidentally, this is the first story in Doctor Who history made in stereo. Fantastic futuristic stereo, yeah.
And apparently only broadcast in London in stereo.
Yeah, early days, but it's like,
MTS
people say
stereo.
Yeah, it's like when the country just watched John Pertwee in his first story in color, and everyone 4% of the country watched John Pertwee in color.
And 4% would have heard this in stereo.
Yeah.
I have no idea if it was MTS. That's probably a North American standard. I just remember MTS stereo was on every TV as a sticker. It was kind of, although it was actual stereo, FM stereo, it was kind of the 80s to 90s version of True Motion Flow. In that, it works, but do you really want it?
It's kind of like like those sound bars. Basically, it's 5.1. Really, it is. Well, if it's 5.1,
VHS and VHS Hi-Fi and Beta had Hi-Fi, and that was actually genuinely stereo.
I remember my parents' little mini stereo thing had an MTS switch on there. I didn't really quite understand what it was. I remember sometimes there's a Dalek, by the way. I remember there would be stereo simulcast where you flip to a radio station.
I was about to say that same thing.
Yeah,
for concerts and stuff.
Yeah. So that's my experience of stereo. I don't remember when we got a stereo TV. Probably. Oh goodness. I'm trying to think of what our TV history was. I bought my first TV, which is a massive giant beast of a tube TV, but it was 27 inches, which was the size of a house back in those days, and that was certainly stereo. But
I had a 21-inch Sony with SVHS input and stereo
SVHS, geez.
and a Laserdisc player, and a Super VHS Hi-Fi with a flying erase head for editing.
Damn, I think I have a VHS player still to that day. I hang on to it. I know. Hang on to your VHS players because they are impossible to find now. If you really want one, which I still have lots of VHSs, so
I was gonna say, as with most of my filmmaking efforts, it was more hardware than actual doing.
Yeah.
But that's not
usually
just
the
me.
way.
I think that's many of people.
Yeah. This is why I never made a series of Commander Y in Lego, because
I saw a thing today. This is sort of not really related, but this guy who works for Cubicle 7 actually said that there's nothing wrong with this, but RPGs, tabletop RPGs, are as much a collecting and looking at hobby as they are a playing the game hobby. And I'm like, film's a very expensive version of that.
Back way back in the day, I bought so many FASA Doctor Who RPG modules.
Oh,
yeah.
Those I got rid of them.
Never used most of them.
Oh, I know.
Well, I took a picture and put it on Twitter to respond to like, how dare you? And then I said, okay, D&D I play regularly. Star Wars I played a couple times. Pathfinder, Starfinder, the Doctor Who one, and Star Trek I have never played once.
No.
I just read them, and that's that. Because I can't find anybody.
Boom, boom. No, thanks. Funny. I don't know how to drive old-timey automobiles either.
I don't really know how to drive automobiles. So,
no, that's true.
I mean, I can. The government seems to want to give me a license for some reason, but I would recommend it.
Demanding you have one. These scenes, incidentally, are directed by one John Nathan Turner.
Mm-hmm. So when they flip here, or they already have, did they already?
No,
they didn't yet. No.
Okay, now I don't know if it's visible here, but I remember on the multi-generational fracas that was the PAL tape from the Edmonton, you could see them do it because of the way the transfer came across. Like they probably overexposed it or something, so you could see them flipping over. It's dim
probably
there.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, in our copy, you could see them moving.
I want to have a look back at this now and turn the contrast way up.
Yeah, because presumably they're on a trailer right now, right? So they're not actually.
No, I think they're actually driving. I think.
No, there's no way. If they were flipping like they were, which I saw happen. Then...
they could be on a low loader or something, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I think they
really
probably
use that
are.
in Doctor Who.
No.
More often than not, it was practical. So.
Mind you, McCoy is not wearing his glasses, which he kind of needed. You can see him wear his glasses in long shot when he's driving the motorbike in Delta and the Bannerman. So
that's
maybe
an insurance nightmare.
driving.
Oh yeah, act and drive.
Oh, I know. Every time I watch a movie from the 70s, I think, oh boy, this is like,
probably smoking too. You know?
Well, when Gene Hackman is driving, he's driving. I think he does all of his own driving in that famous scene from French Connection, which is us.
Probably had a hangover too.
I know. Good God, 1970s. tweed. That there looks like an itchy top that Pamela Salem has on.
Especially in the 60s.
Allison's also looks pretty itchy to me.
Oh, just wool, nonstop wool. Which apparently is unkind. I don't know what they do to the sheep. Not that I have any wool sweaters, but as a bleeding heart vegetarian, I should probably keep an eye out for that.
Hey, it's the creepy girl.
The sheep don't die. I think you're allowed to have wool sweaters.
Hey, it's Michael Sheard in his final Doctor Who appearance.
And Peter Halliday later.
That's right. Yeah, we get all the greatest hits, don't we?
No, no Cyril Shaps or John Ambaneri, but
no.
Well, we'll take Michael Sheard and
one day, sir, you'll be a caretaker at this very school.
Yeah. That's right. Holy crap! I never thought about that.
Nice. I had no idea that was coming up.
No, he applies for the job of caretaker, and sure enough, decades later.
And you'll talk briefly to some annoying kids who go off on adventures, and then there's a weeping angel for some reason. Who knows?
Oh, I was thinking of the caretaker, the actual story of the caretaker.
No, I know. I was just riffing on Class.
I know. No one does that.
But I'm not surprised you'd forget all that because it's pretty forgettable.
Well, I know because I choose to remember the caretaker with Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman having wonderful comedic timing.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Written by Gareth Roberts.
Yeah, that guy.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to other topics. I was thinking today, I really hope and this is probably out of date by the time this goes out, but I really hope that they do a Murray Gold with Sega Nakanola and he continues to do the music with whoever the new showrunner and or doctor are.
I'd be curious. I know. It's, I mean, you're right. Murray Gold stayed on after R2D and, for some reason, I remember this truck. This
quite
truck
like his music, so I'd like to see him continue.
Maybe you're suggesting maybe Kev McCullough, whose music you probably can't hear right now.
Mark here.
Yeah, that's the best part of this commentary is not hearing Sega Nakanola.
Mark here doesn't have enough on his plate. Hire him back.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we'll have to go through Liz Miles, the new showrunner.
That's true. As proclaimed by Screen Rant.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying this, by the way. We're all making dated references to the middle of August. I don't know when you're listening to this, but yeah. We haven't even
2021. Let's
yes, true. We have
too.
So the French Revolution book is wrong. It has a white cover in the original, so this episode is dead to me.
It is. Did it have a dust jacket in?
Did not have a dust jacket. I might have had a white dust jacket, yeah.
By way of explanation, since it's long since passed, the Screen Rant article listed a bunch of people who are lovely human beings. Some of them are very, all of them are very talented writers, but they're not people who would have written TV for years and years, which is generally what showrunners do.
Or
and
indeed
they would be the first
at
to
all.
tell you, no, we're not going to be doing that. That is silly.
Yeah. When I watched this, I had no idea what stories he's referring to. None whatsoever.
I would have seen, I was going to say Loch Ness Monster, but that's the Target novelization. I would have definitely not been aware of Web of Fear.
Not a lot of us were.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
I mean, the book was out there.
Oh, the book was out there.
I probably read it by the time I saw this, but it doesn't get stuck in the brain.
People like Ian Levine were betting on people having read and memorized the Target novelizations when they're watching Doctor Who, a.k.a. Attack of the Cybermen, but... What do you mean you don't remember watching this 20 years ago on original broadcast and never again, you idiots?
You must be a terrible fan.
Yeah.
So I was saying before we started recording, I've probably seen this 50 times in my life and did not realize John Leeson was doing that voice.
Yep. I think this is his only... apart from Power of Kroll, I'm just thinking of like when he was not a regular in Doctor Who. I think this is his only appearance. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think he does like robot voices.
This point or after?
Up to, because he's basically K9 from now on. Anytime he's in Doctor Who now, he's K9.
Or even when he's in K9.
Even when he's K9. Mm-hmm.
The Australian K9, I mean.
Yeah. Is this the... this is the story where you can see pages of the script in McCoy's pockets. You can tell what stage of the recording they're at by the amount of pages are still left in McCoy's pocket there on the right.
Way to steal his anecdote.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, McCoy. For those that never saw him.
Now what story is he going to tell?
He's got lots of stories. He's had a life.
No, he's got that story, and he's got saving Sophie Aldred from the water in Battlefield.
Right.
That's it. Those are his stories.
There's only 2 stories. He was in The Hobbit, He was in all 3 movies of The Hobbit.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah. He was a bodyguard for the Rolling Stones at Rolling Stones concerts in the early 70s. He was a stuntman.
Wasn't he at Altamont?
He was not at Altamont. No, now you were just making things up.
Wow. That is a troublesome comment, Chris.
The Rolling Stones did other shows other than Altamont. I want you to know that.
Those were the security at Altamont.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad scene. For which I blame the Grateful Dead. Because they recommended the Rolling Stones to use the Hells Angels for security because they did it all the time at Grateful Dead concerts, and it backfired. And I remember in Gimme Shelter, the movie, there's Jerry Garcia there talking to people. Oh, what's going on? Oh, they're beat guys and stuff. And Jerry Garcia's reaction to this, this horrible event which is occurring based on his idea, is this. Oh, bummer. That was it. That was Garcia reacting to the horrible events of the day.
How that was mirrored in January 6, 2021.
Yep. Oh, bummer. Rest in peace, Jerry Garcia.
I was never a Deadhead.
Nor was I.
I don't mind the Touch of Grey as a song, but yeah, I was never.
Really? Oh, that's the worst one. That's what they sold out, man.
Oh, who cares?
Grateful Dead.
It had skeletons in the video. That's why I liked it.
Oh, wow.
Just like Rush's Roll the Bones, which is not a great song, but it does have a rapping skeleton.
I think Cliffhanger's up and coming. Boy, did they they made it.
This did blow my mind at the time.
I don't know if it did to me because I think maybe my TV was too dark. I didn't quite understand what's going on. I thought maybe do all Daleks fly? Maybe you can't. I don't know what's going on. Well, boy, it took a lot. It took a lot to get that Dalek up the stairs. So
lots of elbow grease.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the light, the camera, the Dalek moving, the green here.
Yeah.
The Doctor. Yeah, no, I just bought this
good
hook, line,
stuff.
and sinker.
Yeah, the Daleks weren't always just yelling about everything. They'd be like, "We got your cocky ass, didn't we, McCoy?" Mm-hmm. Or rather, the 7th Doctor.
Yeah.
Dursley McClendon.
He died, Sal. He died of AIDS not too many years after this, sadly. Oh, yeah. Yep.
That sucks.
It does, I know. Brought you down really quick now, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks Tipping for that. Thanks for also really passed away.
The tone of episode 1.
Roy Skelton no longer with us. Ron Grainer long since dead. Dick Mills still with us.
That's enough of this.
Jeff McCulloch still with us.
Still with us. Living on Australia,
Bring on
I believe.
Never mind.
Les Mowbray sounds like a name of an Ewok. I know it's Logray in the...
It sounds like not just an Ewok, but also vintage synth equipment. Well, get out the Les Mowbray. We'll get some real good tunes going.
Les Mowbray,
organ,
more Moog.
Organ, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, a Mowbray organ. Those are rare.
Good old Cal video. Oh, it was a good one. Oh, we're off to a good start. A rollicking good start here in 1963.
At 5:15 in the afternoon, when it's still daylight in November. And they're going for lunch.
Yep. What are timelines, eh? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Join us next time on our Classic Series commentary for part 2 of Remembrance of the Daleks. So until then, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Born in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.
You've been listening to Radio Free Skaro. Find us online at radiofreeskaro.com. Follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Radio Free Skaro. Subscribe to us on iTunes and donate to the show at patreon.com/Radio Free Skaro. Thank you.